Can you raise your hand if you've ever heard of Ben Affleck? Just want to get this started now. Okay, so we put the spacebar. Yeah. He was chosen for the new Batman recently, like 5 months ago. The world kind of exploded. Ben Affleck even saw it. They told him to stay off the internet for about 2 weeks, and he thought he was a big boy, and he went on the internet, and the first thing that he saw on the comments was, "No!" So, I think that he is the best Batman ever. I thought Christian Bale sucked ass. And I want y'all to believe the same. Please click it again. I want to start off with the audience analysis. I handed out a poll, you all answered it. These were the results, will you click it again? The first question I asked was, do you know who Ben Affleck is? 30% of you thought he was the duck from the Affleck commercials. 25% of you said, you don't know, show me a picture of him. And 45% of you said, yes, I know who he is. Number 2, do you think he could beat someone up and then walk around super cool in a tuxedo, which is what Bruce Wayne and Batman does? 15% of you said no, he's a duck. 55% of you said probably not, I don't know, or care. And 30% of you said, of course, go shizzle. Number 3, did you know that Ben Affleck was chosen for the part of Batman? 45% of you said he's a duck. 10% of you said Sigh, another Batman movie. And 40% of you said yes, and Superman is about to meet his maker. And then one of you made a 4th bubble and said, I don't know. So, like I said before, when it all began, and the internet figured out that Ben Affleck was going to be the first, or the next Batman, we click it again. Life kind of sucked. We click it. Memes and Twitter exploded, as you can see here. That's not real. Somebody made that. We click it again. That was the Batman from like 3 years ago. His face of disgust whenever he figures out that Batman will be Ben Affleck. We click it. Yeah. People hated Batfleck, which is what I'm going to call Ben Affleck. It's the same thing. Ben Affleck and Batman. Batfleck. Ben Affleck is Batman because he was so good as Daredevil. Daredevil is considered one of the worst superhero movies of all time, and he was in it. Will you click it again? Still a better Batman than Ben Affleck. People really, really hated Ben Affleck, and they still kind of do. Will you click it again? But I'm here to prove them wrong. And you non-believers. And you know who's going to help me? Ben Affleck. Will you click it again? First of all, Ben Affleck has literally every quality to be Batman. So why the not? Click it in. He has a strong jaw, you know, the big jawline. He has a butt chin, which some of you laugh at, but butt chin is good for Batman. He's older. He has the dark hair, beard and top of the head, and he can play the darker side while still maintaining his cool. We look at twice. Yeah, see? Look at that smug little smile and his beard. And if you look really closely,
oh my God.
And if you look really closely, you can see a shadow in between his little butt on his face. Will you click it again? His physique. Will you click it again? That's him. If you have any more comments, you can let them out now. Does that not look
yummy? Oh my God, I'm sorry, was that my out loud voice? Oh my God, hang on, I am so sorry. I was having I need some Prozac. I'm sorry, bipolar? Sorry. Oh my gosh, okay. At least I feel good now. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. You're doing good, you're doing good.
Imagine that in a tuxedo. Or just a vest and a dress shirt and a black tie. Would that not look fucking awesome? And then imagine him in the middle of the night in that, beating the shit out of every bad guy in the world. What is wrong with that? Can anybody just raise your hand if you have a problem with that now? Will you carry on, please? And another little thing that I want to point out, which is going to make him better than Christian Bale's Batman, is he will already be a legendary superhero. The character he's walking into, will you click it again? Raise your hand if you saw Man of Steel. Came out in 2013, I think. Wow, that's a really small number. Oh, okay, never mind. I didn't see y'all raising y'all's hand. It's okay. Okay, well, if any of you... Oh, it is your bad. If any of you look really closely, in this scene right there, somebody pulled it out that says, "Keep calm and call Batman." And then right here, on the little spaceship thing, Wayne Enterprises. The story of Batman started like, you know, in Batman Begins. He started off and he was an amateur. He didn't know how to run his, you know, little whole enterprises thing that his daddy gave him. And he didn't actually start running it until like The Dark Knight Rises, which was like 5 years later. The Batman that we're going to see in Batman vs. Superman is going to be like 2 times more experienced than the one we saw in between 5 and 12. This kind of shows right here that he's already known. He's already kind of like beating the shit out of other people in the DC universe that we're about to walk into. And that's going to make him a lot better than every other Batman since ever. We click again? Again. Secondly, XP. Click it again. Little bar, yes. Like he just leveled up. We click it again. In 2003, Ben Affleck made Jiggly. It's a movie title. Nobody has no idea why it's named Jiggly. Wait, what are you doing, Cody? Do I need to choose someone else? Jiggly is considered the #9 worst movie of all time. #9 of all time. That's better than, I mean, that's worse than every scary movie parody, the Vampires Suck, the Twilight parody movies. Worse than all of those. Literally all of them. Since then, he has won 2 Oscars. In 2012, have any of you heard of Argo? I don't think. He won Best Picture for that because that was his movie. He starred in it, he directed it, and that was kind of his movie because he produced it. So he won Best Picture, and he won Best Writing in the 1990s for writing a movie that got Robin Williams an Oscar. And he also won a Golden Globe for Best Director. He's got talent. He knows what he's doing now. I mean, 2003 Daredevil, that wasn't necessarily his fault. Sure, he looked like a dumbass because it was like a skin-tight red suit, and he doesn't play off a blind dude very well, but that wasn't his fault. We look again. He knows what he's doing. He's leveled up to a level 23 now. We click it on. And lastly, 2 more times. Good job. Good job. Lastly, he is the biggest support on screen since any of the other Batman movies. Even if he isn't as great as what I'm expecting him to be, we still have Lex Luthor and Superman, so the focus isn't going to be entirely on him. It's not going to be some story about Batman, and if it doesn't work out for us, we hate him. It's going to be like 30% him in the movie. What we're going to be watching mostly is if he looks good kicking Superman's ass, which just, spoiler alert, he does. Will you click again?
Do you know that for sure?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
comics. Oh, that's what this was based on.
And behind the cameras, do y'all know who's making the movie? Zack Snyder. He's like the comic book legend. He makes every comic book movie, or comic book, into a movie. Will you click it 3 more times? Uno, dos, tres, good job. First one, Watchmen. Have any of you heard of that one? It's super fucking badass. Have any of you heard of 300?
Yeah.
That was his. He directed that one. And what he's about to add to his list of joy sauceness and awesome dawsome is... See, that's Batman right there. That's just Superman. That's signifying Batman versus Superman. Just letting y'all know if y'all didn't know. Are we click it again? And lastly, it's Ben Affleck. Will you click it again? Thank you. It has been years since he's made a bad movie. Y'all have heard of Gone Girl, right?
Oh, yeah.
He was in that. He was good. He's had a really good streak of making movies since like 2011, and it's about to be 2016 in like 5 months. Okay, it's not about to be, but we're close. He's on a really good streak, and there's no way that Zack Snyder and Superman and Lex Luthor are going to let him down. Like, really, guys? Will you click again? One more time. In conclusion, Ben Affleck is more experienced and talented, and has every quality to be Batman. And bottom line, Ben Affleck will never be worse than George Clooney's Batman. Will you click it again?
Is that George Clooney?
Yeah, that's George Clooney.
Oh, yeah.
George Clooney was Batman, and Chris O'Donnell was Robin, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was Mr. Freeze.
That sounds horrible.
It will never get worse than that. It was so bad. They put Arnold Schwarzenegger's before George Clooney's name, and he's fucking Batman. It's his movie. Will you look at it again? It's my side work, and one thing I want to show y'all is the trailer to the Batman vs Superman movie. I'm not sure if any of you knew it even existed, but it came out kind of recently.